right, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you being here today. I'm Rick Rams. I'm the Dean of Physical Education, Athletics, and Student Support Services here at Cypress College, and it's my pleasure to have you today to welcome our new men's head basketball coach at Cypress College. Before the introduction, let me just say a couple words about our program. We're approaching our 50th anniversary of the college, and ironically, this happens to be only the fourth head coach in our school history. Can you believe that? 4 coaches. And it all started with the great Don Johnson, who is not only retired from coaching, but his name adorns our court, his banner hangs in our gym, and his tradition was unlike anything we've ever seen in California community college history. Number of state titles, conference titles, and for the last 20 years, we've struggled a little bit, and part of that has been our ability to have a full-time head coach, has been also maybe our ability to recruit and retain some players. So today, I am pleased that we're going to start a new legacy at Cypress College, and we're going to move forward with the hiring of a new men's head coach. You know, the future is going to be bright. We talk about the emphasis on student-athlete success. We talk about competitiveness in the Orange Empire Conference and the ability to compete in the CCCAA and have an opportunity to win a championship. And certainly with the hire we've made, I believe we're going to have that ability to compete at the highest level. So please join me in welcoming our new men's head coach, Drew Alhadeff.
Thank you. First and foremost, I would like to thank President Simpson, Dr. Rams, Athletic Director Bill Pinkham, and the rest of the search committee. It's truly a wonderful opportunity that I've been given. I can't tell you how excited I am to be the new head coach of Cypress Community College basketball. It is truly an honor to be part of this community with the rich tradition of Cypress athletics. When I think about Cypress men's basketball, I think about legendary coach Don Johnson. Coach Johnson built this program on tough, smart, and unselfish basketball players. As the 4th men's basketball coach in Cypress history, it is my desire to restore the winning tradition that Coach Johnson left us. It is my belief that we develop success from our failures. It is also my belief that in order to become a successful program, we must plan to win, we must prepare to win, and we must expect to win. Not just on the basketball court, but also in the classroom. My hope for the Cypress College men's basketball program is to reestablish a team worthy of respect in the Orange Empire Conference. I want to have a team who displays a love and passion for the game of basketball and is going to work hard on and off the court. Does anybody have any questions for me? Yes, over here.
Drew, the Orange Empire Conference is one of the best conferences for men's basketball. What is your plan to ensure a competitive team for 2015 and beyond?
First of all, the Orange Empire is a very tough conference. It's a conference I've been a part of for the last 8 seasons. We're going to take each game one at a time. No opponent is too big. We're going to break it down opponent by opponent. All of my guys will be prepared. My coaching staff and I will get them ready to compete. But most importantly, I think it's important that we teach our athletes to compete at a high level for 40 minutes. If we could accomplish that, then we're on the right track.
So what are your recruiting goals? How are you going to be able to build a team that can compete to play in the postseason?
Okay, our recruiting goals is we want to recruit the best players. Sometimes the best players aren't always the best athletes. We want the best players that fit into our program. We want players who are going to be motivated, players who are going to put in extra work on and off the court. We want players who are going to be coachable. We want kids who are going to come to work, trust us, and be willing to learn and develop what it takes to succeed at this level. And lastly, we want players who are going to be accountable. I want good teammates. I want guys who are going to be on time, guys who are going to go to class, guys who are going to sacrifice if they need to. That's what I want in my recruits.
How would your past players describe you as a coach?
Depends on the day, maybe. I think my past players, they would say that I push them, both physically and mentally. I have great relationships with my past players. Probably over 50 of them called me once I got this job and to congratulate me. That's something I'm very proud of. But they would say that I'm very competitive. Now I'm intense at times. They'd also say that I'm passionate about the game of basketball. They would tell you that I'm detail-oriented. And lastly, and probably most importantly, they would tell you that I care about them as individuals and not just as basketball players.
What are your short-term and long-term goals for the program?
Okay, my short-term goals is, number one, I got to get the team to buy into what it takes to be a winning program. And what that takes is enthusiasm. It's going to take discipline. It's going to take dedication. It's going to take sacrifice, and it will take mental toughness. As we get started in building this team, and building this thing, it's not going to happen overnight, but we will build a successful program. Secondly, I want to take interest in our community. We will do community service. I think it's important for our players to reach out to the community, and in return, I would like our community to come and support us at our home games. And lastly, my short-term goal is to make the playoffs and be a playoff team. In terms of my long-term goals, my first long-term goal is to have my players get their AA degrees. I think that's very important. We're a community college, and I really believe in the term student-athlete. Secondly, I want to move my players on to four-year college and universities to play basketball. I think it's important that we stress that this is not their last level, that we want to improve, we want to make them better, we want to be successful here as a unit, but we want to move players on individually. I want to be competitive in the Orange Empire Conference year after year. And lastly, I want to be ranked top in the state of California for men's basketball.
Are there any other questions from the audience? No questions? Well, I think just in closing here today, Drew, again, thank you for coming down today. We appreciate it. When I spoke to Jerry Hernandez, the current head coach at IVC, and I asked him what to expect when we hired Drew, it was interesting. His response was, the rest of the conference better look out, because not only do we have a hardworking coach, we have an incredibly knowledgeable, skilled motivator coming to town. And he basically said folks are going to be taking a notice of Cypress College moving ahead in 2015. So I certainly look forward to doing that, and hopefully standing here and celebrating not only the success of our student athletes, but hopefully hanging banners in the gym down the line. Thank you so much for being here. Drew will have a meet and greet afterwards, and we look forward to seeing you around. Thank you.